In the wake of ghastly terror attack in Paris, which killed over 140 people, the Hindu team traced the similarity with the attack in Mumbai in 2008. One among the most brutal terrorist attack of the world, the wound of Mumbai attack on 26/11 remains very fresh in the mind of the survivors till today. We met Dilip Mehta, one among the survivors, who spent the most horrific 9 hours of his life during the attack. He was confined at Taj Palace Hotel and counting his time till he could escape. The trauma of 9 longest hours could not shatter Mr. Mehta. Rather, he stepped forward to fight against terrorism by representing India at the International Congress of Victims of Terrorism in Paris in 2011.
This morning, basically, when you heard news about the attack, what was the first emotion that went through your mind?
I connected myself to 26/11 7 years ago, and I could visualize clearly about what people would have felt when they were attacked by the terrorists in Paris this morning. I was trying to fathom as to why these kind of attacks take place firstly, and what all of us should do to eradicate this menace in this world.
Maybe on the internet or something.
Right.
You must have noticed similarities between the way that happened since last night and the way the attacks happened in Mumbai.
Right.
And you yourself were trapped inside Taj, I think,
Yes,
for
yes.
9 hours.
Yeah, I was there for 9 hours on the 22nd floor
Okay.
in a banquet called Rendezvous that night. I have seen death at very close quarter. It's sometimes difficult to express in terms of feeling because I get into retrospection. But the fact remains is that all of us, about 38, 39 people out there that evening survived. After 9 hours, we were the first group to be evacuated from the 22nd floor. We didn't confront with any terrorist because we walked through the fire exit at the back side of the Taj. There was no lift, as you know, and there was no power, obviously. So we didn't confront anywhere on the staircase while we were coming down. But the situation, watching what was happening, was most traumatic experience of my life. Fire engulfing from the old wing, our windows shaking each time when the bomb was blasted. We never thought that we would escape, but we were very fortunate to be in the second life after. We were none of us were unhurt. We had blocked all the doors of the banquet. There was a makeshift washroom, toilet, and there was no power. The commandos from the next South African commandos from the next restaurant called Souk came to our rescue, and the security of Taj played an impeccable role in ensuring our safety, and quite a few of us lost speech. Few of us, we couldn't really talk. We fainted, few of us, and each minute looked like a decade to us, and we didn't know what was in store for us about as to what is going to happen.
So for 9 hours you were in that banquet?
Yes.
You had closed up the doors and you were...
Yeah. We were all restricted. Nobody was allowed to go out. No. We had...
the internal security people were also there with you?
Yeah, internal security came because they were very senior diplomats with us who were the guests. the security was more concerned apart from us, also for them. So we were the first group, as I said, to get evacuated.
And the South African commandos, they were
there. There was a cricket match.
Okay.
South African team coming next day.
Okay.
So they had come for
the security clearance.
Security clearances, and they were fortunately having dinner
I see.
next door, and they came to rescue. They were from the 22nd floor coordinating with the Taj security about what should be the action, what is the situation, what is happening around.
Right.
So.
And then when finally we were evacuated by our policemen.
Yeah, by the Taj security.
Okay, that they took all
they
of
were. They told us that this is the way to go down. We have got clearances from the senior most management team, and please walk through the staircase. It's safe. You have to wait a little while, not to make noise, talk. The women were asked to hold on to their shoes in their hand and then walk through.
Okay. So for 9 hours you were waiting inside, and you had no idea whether the next minute the door is going to be shot open and.
Because very very difficult kind of situation. The atmosphere was very gloomy, no power, and extreme.
Your family member were
at
along with
home.
you?
My family was.
So
at
you
home.
were calling.
I had to preserve my battery because there was no way I could have otherwise.
So what kind of response you were getting from the family?
Was there any communication?
They were all crying on the phone, and they thought that I will not be able to escape. They won't be able to see me again.
So to what extent has this morning's news awakened all those memories?
Yeah, my memory came back this morning when I was watching CNN and BBC, and I was just thinking to myself that why these kind of terrorist attacks are taking place around the globe by inhuman people with no kind of motive, as we talked this afternoon. And I'm really not aware as to who are the people behind this in Paris. So I understand about 130, 140, more than that numbers, people have been killed.
Yeah.
And the attack has taken place at more than 3 or 4 places in Paris. So I was listening to one of the survivor interview, an English lady who survived, and she saw everything with her naked eyes, and she did well. She spoke well, and she expressed as to how things happened and what did people, how did people react, what is the kind of security which came to the rescue, and she also looked mentally very shattered, but managed to give the interview.
You could identify with her while she was talking, while listening to her. You could relate with her.
Yes, very closely. Very closely.
So what exactly you feel after several years, the same thing happening on the other part of the world, which we have gone through? So what exactly it reflects in your mind?
My perspective is that honestly I cannot fathom why these kind of terrorist attacks are taking place. I cannot fathom, and why people should get killed by these terrorists. Each country is now looking at this terrorism in a very, very large perspective and trying to eradicate terrorists with very, very kind of strictest possible method to combat this menace. And it is difficult that 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 people killing 150, 160 people. On 26/11 here in Bombay, my numbers are correct, about 166 people died, 330 people seriously wounded, 10 people holding the country at ransom. It is inhuman, it is terrible. Yes, we are equipped, we have disaster management in place. On the 7th anniversary, 12 days from now, I'm sure a lot of strict vigil and security is going to be in place. And my personal viewpoint is that these terrorist attacks which took place 7 years ago cannot happen again.
Okay. So you believe they will not?
It can be.
Video report by Gautam Mingle and Arunangsu Chowdhury, The Hindu, Mumbai.